All right, we are live. We are live with episode 62, part 1. Yes, once again, sports world has exploded. Well, the world has exploded, but the sports world itself also has had an explosion within an explosion, and thus we are doing another two-part, 2-day stream.
Extravaganza.
Yeah, we promise. This is
We
not going to be
promise we won't have to do this
again.
anymore after this week. We're just hoping that the sports world can calm down so we can catch our breath. I swear to God, it's like trying to babysit a sugar-addled 7-year-old.
And as you can see below, as Tom just put up accurately, if you want part two, check it out here on Facebook Live, facebook.com/ETB Sports, 12 noon Eastern time tomorrow.
Right. So, well, on that note, this is going to be an all football edition, kind of like what last week's part 2 was on Sunday. Well, that was football and basketball, but basically, we're going to talk about all the football. And as much as we'd like to talk about the on field action, we would be remiss and we would be quite ignorant if we did not talk about how, once again, COVID-19 has impacted the football world, and not just the NFL, mind you. The NFL, college football games, the college football studio show on Fox, and
the ghost of the XFL.
The ghost of the XFL, and specifically, by the way, nearly half of all NFL teams.
Okay, so stop proving me right. I just don't. When I said those words that Roger Goodell, if Roger Goodell thinks he's going to be able to get a clean season, and that is a season without any COVID-19 cases, he was dreaming. I didn't mean it literally.
I have, by the way, before I toss it to you guys for a second, I have the entire list of all the positive cases from the NFL this week. Actually, this may not even be up to date.
Yeah,
it's like a receipt at CBS. It goes on for miles.
I put up some more names, actually, so you might not have all the names, but this is like Nick is like giddy in a weird way because he was.
Oh, no. I'm not giddy. It's that line in Jurassic Park. Boy, do I hate being right. And I hate it. I hate
being right because
look, these people are getting paid exponentially more than us. And they should be smarter than us. Why is it that I'm proving to be the smarter person in this one? I should not be. You couldn't trust me to run a Dairy Queen.
So on Friday.
Just this whole thing is crazy. We have a whole COVID situation. The NFL seems to be the only sport that can't figure out how to get its shit together. I hate to say that, but that's what it is at this point because Commissioner Goodell can't figure out how to get his sport under control when it needs to be.
All right, so let's get to this.
He doesn't even know which end is up anymore.
Let's go to this list. So as of Friday, Tom Pelissero posted that 13 NFL teams have placed 33 players on the COVID reserve list, and multiple other teams had landed in intensive protocols because of staff positives, but week 9 is on. So here was everybody I was able to figure out, by the way. So first of all, for the Green Bay Packers, who played on Thursday night, rookie running back A.J. Dillon had tested positive. Fellow running back Jamal Williams was a close contact, as was the linebacker Kamal Martin. The Browns had a positive, but I had no information as to who it was on that list. For the Arizona Cardinals, Devon Kennard actually came out and said that he was COVID positive. Hey, here's a kicker for the Broncos. John Elway, the general manager, and CEO Joe Ellis tested positive. The Cowboys, Andy Dalton. I feel so bad for him. He's already down with the concussion. With the concussion, yeah. This guy has no luck. The Ravens had 5 linebackers, a cornerback, and a safety all on the list. The Bears, Chasen Spriggs with Cody Whitehair. His case just got confirmed positive. And Jermaine Ifedi was a close contact. 49ers, Brandon Ayuk, the rookie receiver, another rookie receiver, Devo Samuel, and I believe linebacker Trent Williams. For the Lions, Matthew Stafford was a close contact. It was, yeah, so his more details on his case, because I know we were talking about it. Apparently, it was a member of the organization, a staff member who was positive, but Matthew Stafford was deemed a high-risk close contact. So we will find out tomorrow if he is going to be, if he has tested negative and will be able to play.
Well, he was on the list like at the beginning of the season, right? And then they deemed that he didn't have it, and now he's back on it.
Right. They deemed he didn't. They deemed he had a. I believe he was a false positive case, but now in this case, he's a high risk close contact. So he would have had to have tested negative, throughout this week to play.
That seems like the key buzz phrase over all the professional leagues. False positive, doesn't it?
I mean, they're all hoping that they're false positives. I mean, but I mean,
we got more.
Yeah, keep going.
All right, so the Texans, again, I'm not 100% sure who has tested positive, but thankfully, they're on a bye week, as thankfully as you can be. So there's nothing that's going to be affected as of yet with them. For the Jaguars, Whitley, Merciless, and Dylan Cole. The Eagles had a positive, I'm not sure who. For the Kansas City Chiefs, their star tackle, Chris Jones. And one more here. Oop, lost it here. Oh, for the Raiders, Trent Brown. Also, furthermore, the University of Washington actually banned all the scouts and everything because of the NFL's problems with COVID. The entire staff, on-air staff, commentary team of Big Noon Kickoff on Fox.
Who cares about that show anyway?
I know, but I'm saying, but there was a rumored positive. There's something happened with protocols, so they had Howie Long and a couple of guys from Fox's NFL coverage filling in today.
Oh, that would be great. By the way, I put up the tweet from Rappaport yesterday. Did you mention the Dolphins and the Packers also?
The Packers. I was just going to get to everything from yesterday. So, in addition to the Trent Brown positive, the Raiders were fined a massive amount of money as a repeat offender because they already had their issues this season. The Steelers were fined, as was head coach Mike Tomlin, for not wearing masks during one of the more recent games. Here's Whitehair's confirmation. Linebacker Chris Barnes, who played on Thursday Night Football, then tested positive on Friday.
I need to say something because, Tom, you and I talked about this when Justin Turner was positive and was taken out of the game. How does this keep happening that someone plays in a game and then they somehow end up positive? It doesn't happen. They had to have been positive before they played.
If I may?
Go ahead.
That's not a surprise because the testing and tracing protocols and our gut instinct when things like this happen, it happened in MLB, is to say that, oh, somebody must have broke protocol, right? Somebody must have disobeyed the rules and went somewhere, went out to a bar, went fishing, went cornholing as far as I know. But the NFL's response to this, their testing and tracing program, their way to contain this is so friggin' slapdash and thrown together. You can't really tell whether it's somebody breaking the rules when the rules are so different from team to team.
But they're not different. There's a protocol that has to be followed.
There's a protocol, but if teams have leeway in whether they want to follow it or not, disaster tends to happen.
Nick, you're kind of, if I can break in for a second, you're kind of in referencing the Titans disaster that happened earlier this season.
Exactly. Right. We know that was a clear violation of the rules. And what did they get? Essentially, slap on the wrist.
By the way, hey, Nick, I think you ran into John Gruden about the fines, didn't you?
Well, first of all, Mr. Spider Two Wide Banana thinks he can take on COVID by, he thinks it's a tackling dummy. And it's just, again, these people are supposed to be so much smarter than us. Why are they not?
By the way, and the way that Roger Goodell is finally woken up to the pandemic or disaster.
A robot doesn't sleep, so
right.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, maybe he doesn't sleep, but $500,000 fine, $150,000 for Gruden, and I think
That'll keep him.
Like, who cares about the money? No one cares that you're finding an NFL team money.
You're endangering people's lives. Do you think they care about what's in your wallet?
No, and that's why. And
Do
by
you
the way,
think the loss of money is going to make him understand?
and who cares about 2 6-round picks? Those are garbage picks anyway. No one cares.
Because this is the only way that Roger Goodell can actually think of things. If it's not anything to do with football punishments, he doesn't have any idea. It's like staring at a Chinese math problem in Mandarin. It is. It's just his brain just can't fit it together. He can't square the circle.
Right. So the other guy, I don't know if you mentioned this, Tom, also, but you said Lynn Bowden of the Dolphins, the Packers, Jordan Love also on the COVID list as well.
Yeah.
So this is this is what the podcast is going to be. Just 30 minutes of me impotently flailing.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
Do all the teams have a COVID positive at this point, Tom, or no?
I don't know about all. I can say most, absolutely.
A good percentage.
As
a
in,
good percentage. I don't know if I can.
Had or do they currently have?
Have had during
Have they
the
had?
season.
Yeah.
I'd say I can say
Pretty
most
damn close.
I'd say yeah. I think that's the thing. Pretty damn close. I can't say 100% for certain because I don't have the entire list in front of me. But yeah.
God, I mean, who would have the whole list at this point? We can't keep track of who's got COVID and who doesn't. And with all the HIPAA rules, like you have to wait until these guys tell their teams.
I
want them to have to follow those, though.
And remember, right, you do have to follow those HIPAA laws. And remember, also, just because you get placed on the COVID reserve list does not necessarily mean that these guys have COVID. They may have been, like in Stafford's case,
they may have
high-risk close
contact with somebody who tested positive.
Right.
Well, but couldn't that be everybody in that sense, though, that everyone could technically be on the COVID list?
Technically, yes, but I think according to the CDC guidelines, it has to be you need to be around somebody for about 15 to 20 minutes, or more than 15 minutes, because I think that I think raises the odds that you would have been exposed to the virus. I don't understand how that works because I'm not an epidemiologist. I just, but I think that's what they're thinking is that's what they call close contact. If you're there for more than if you're in contact with somebody for more than 15 minutes.
This is crazy. I mean, I'm shocked. Like, I don't know how to, I'm lost for words. Me and Nick would probably laugh at me because I'm lost for words. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, that is a rare occurrence. That is the purple unicorn of this podcast. Nick Morgasen has nothing to say, folks.
And additionally, obviously, we don't talk about college football, and we don't talk about college football often. We don't talk about golf really at all. But COVID-19, of course, has impacted I will go on record. I think this is the worst week we had in sports world of COVID-19 since sports has come back.
Oh, yeah. I think this is one of the worst weeks we've had
since sports shut down.
Right. Because now there were multiple, I can't even go through this list, but multiple college teams that have had their games canceled this week because of COVID protocols.
Did you see what happened with Washington? That technically, even though it was canceled due to COVID, it was actually canceled due to not having enough scholarship players on their roster?
Because of COVID protocols putting most of them off?
Protocols.
There wasn't enough scholarship eligible players
that were active. Like most of them were on the reserve list, you mean?
Right. So I think Washington asked, or was it Utah? It was Utah versus Washington, and I think
which may have led to the Washington decree that no NFL scouts can be present.
Right. So I don't mean to laugh, but that was kind of funny that they canceled it. They canceled it due to scholarship eligibility, not COVID directly.
Also, by the way, like I just said, it's not just football that's being affected. There was a golfer at the Masters. Joaquin Neiman, who tested positive, and he was forced out of the Masters.
And they're not replacing either.
Right. It's weird enough that the Masters is taking place in November, but man, this
year just keeps throwing curveballs at us, and it's how in God's name does that happen? Golf is essentially a sport of social distancing.
Not
How
necessarily.
do you get exposed to COVID?
Oh, because caddies and everything.
Well, it's not just caddies.
Caddies,
Remember,
tournament
golf,
officials.
yeah, remember golf plays in groupings. Remember
Right, that too.
Yeah, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Caddies are useless.
They just get paid to pick up the ball. Oh wait, that's Caddyshack. Sorry.
You're paid to hold a bag of clubs. Good. A pack mule could do your job.
We apologize to all caddies out there.
Well, wait a minute.
Great. Now the caddies union is going to come after me.
That lets me say it allows me to say my favorite phrase in the golf world. It's time to wash your balls.
Folks, if you see me on next week's show with a big indent on my forehead that says "titless" backwards, then you'll know. Then you'll know they got to me.
So, guys, I mean, what do we make of this with Goodell and everything? So, obviously, it's obvious that
you know what it is. I'll tell you what it is. Stupid is as stupid does. That's what I'm making it.
Well, I was going to say, it's obvious that NFL has gone in the MLB direction of we're just going to wing all our policies, etc.
No, the NFL is on their own footing here. I wouldn't even compare them to MLB at this point.
Really? Wow.
I would say that NFL is so far off.
They were able to go 2 months.
Wait a minute.
Without having a positive test. I think MLB's got a higher batting average.
That's true.
I'm going to make a reference for Tom here since we don't talk UFC very often. So the NFL is so far off on the island that they're not even in the UFC territory of an island.
Oh, my God.
So they're not even on Fight Island. They're so far out there that they're on the mystery.
That's like they're somewhere else in Abu Dhabi.
They're somewhere so far in some little.
They ended up in the Bermuda Triangle.
Thank you. They ended up in the Bermuda Triangle where no one can find Roger Goodell because Roger Goodell, all he can do is find people. Well, I'm going to find you money. It's like it's the Oprah Winfrey of finding people money here. You get fined and you get fined.
Those are the only terms that he understands.
No, it's all the rapid positive cases going on in the NFL. And Roger Goodell has, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. And all
if I didn't see it, it didn't happen.
No, but then all he does is hold up the shield, the NFL shield.
A legitimate shield, by the way. We're not talking about a figment of our imagination show. We're talking about a real show that he puts in front of his face.
It's just, I just.
So let's talk about something because I put up a poll this week. Unfortunately, didn't get too much of a response. But guys, do you think the NFL should cancel one of these weeks or split one of its upcoming weeks in half and just do a week 18?
They should, but they won't.
Yes, absolutely. They should, but they won't. They keep trying to test that theory, but again, they won't because when money is threatened, money always takes precedent over human life.
It's money talks.
Again, and money BS rides the bus.
It's money talks, money walks. We're hearing that ESPN and Disney are trying to work out the contracts for
Sunday. They would get both Sunday and Monday football again.
First of all,
when you piss off the mouse, then you're in trouble.
And by the way, if you want to check out a really good conversation we had, because we talked about this, we talked about ESPN and their 300 firings. We talked about the football packages, so go check that out on our streams as well. That it's just crazy how the NFL will do anything to make a buck, whether it's, put their reputation and their sanity on the line. So it's insane and crazy to me.
All right, guys, we'll move on now quickly to some other news, some on-field measures. I don't know if this news is worse than the last news, but I think, in my opinion, at least, it's just as bad. Antonio Brown, the headache, who urinating tree Schlosser refers to as the diva, is apparently once again returning to the NFL this week. He is officially active for Week 9, as the Buccaneers take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football, and he will have a starting wide receiver role as Mike Evans is out this week due to injury, and Chris Godwin has been limited in practice but will play. So here he is. He's finally back.
At least somebody's reaping the rewards of a Brady bromance.
Well, he was living in his house.
Right. He was.
Also, by the way, we're not going to get I may not get a chance to mention this again, but I think that Tom Brady was actually the one wearing the pants in the Brady Belichick. I think we can kind of put that theory to that story.
I will go one step further. Brady wears the pants in just about any relationship because reportedly Brady was the one who was pushing for this, not Arians, not any of Bucks management. I'll say this, and this might trigger Nick Morgasen a little bit. Tom Brady is entering LeBron James territory when it comes to football.
He's already been there. He's already been there.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. First of all, LeBron James is the number one scumbag when it comes to athletes. But
I was referring
harsh,
to,
don't you think?
No.
I was referring to the fact that
Skip Bayless.
I was referring to the.
Wait a minute. At least wait. Tom, I just want to answer. I'm not fighting. I just want to answer that. I think that LeBron, for other reasons, which we're not going to talk about on here because we don't talk about that stuff on here, is the reason why I say that.
Anyways, I was referring to how we say all the time that LeBron is coach, player, general manager, owner of the team. I was saying Brady has entered that territory if he hasn't already.
He's already been there, though. We know that he is
over Robert Kraft, though.
He is the axis upon which the league spins. We know that. We've known that for the past 20 years.
But as much as LeBron, though, I mean, at least in the NFL.
Well, in terms of,
I was going to say, because in the NFL, you have Rodgers, you have Mahomes.
Mahomes is really where the league is spinning right now.
Mahomes is where the league is now. But in terms of his ability to get away with anything, his ability to get away with abject murder.
Okay, true. Because at least
Mahomes,
we haven't had any of these issues.
Yeah, we haven't had it. We haven't had any of those. We haven't had any of those mishaps.
Well, Mahomes,
God willing, we won't.
Mahomes did come out and ask the Chiefs organization to turn their stadium into a polling situation, but the Chiefs weren't willing to do it. So Mahomes actually had to put his own money out to make that whole. I think he spent like $500,000 on polling machines. But
right. But we haven't seen Mahomes, pull his power around to get certain players. We haven't seen him, God forbid, we hope we never see Mahomes in a cheating scandal. We never see hopefully if if the Chiefs become a dynasty with Mahomes, it is a clean dynasty, not one constantly surrounded in controversy like we've seen with the Pats over the last couple of times where they've won multiple championships in a short span.
Which brings us to Antonio Brown.
Right.
Does he really think that Antonio Brown is the missing piece? Because enlighten me. What is?
I don't think so.
What is the Bucs record right now?
Well, I think if I can just interject here is that Antonio Brown is not your number one, and this is what a lot of the analysts are saying. He's that number two guy. Whenever he's number one, he doesn't do well in the number one spot.
How long has it been since he's been in number one?
Well, I was gonna say, he was kind of a number one when he played that one game for the Patriots while Brady was there.
No, he wasn't.
Was he number two to Edelman at that point?
He was two to Edelman. Now
Edelman's so when did he leave the Steelers? Was it 2018?
It was like 2017, 2018.
But even then at that point, he was slowly losing some ground to Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, Juju is the number one.
Right.
Or he was starting to kind of like...
Right, Juju was chipping away. How we're saying that Chase Claypool might be chipping away at Juju right now.
Right.
Juju was chasing at AB. But basically, if I can compare this, again, this is not Antonio Brown coming in because the missing piece. By the way, to answer your question, the Buccaneers are 6-2 and they're first in the NFC South. The Saints are 5-2, and again, they're playing on Sunday night. So division riding a little bit on the line in this week's Sunday night.
So Brady winning the division is possible.
Very possible.
Well,
especially when you consider that the Saints, despite their 5-2 record, no Michael Thomas, no Emmanuel Sanders, who was also a COVID case, by the way, a while back. Emmanuel Sanders. Right now, they're just basically running with Alvin Kamara. Breeze has kind of digressed a little in his throwing this season. But my point is basically that Antonio Brown is not necessarily a missing piece. He is just an add-on. And plus, we mentioned the bromance, which is the main reason why they're together. And Antonio Brown, this is a chance to chase a Super Bowl. If I can actually make a comparison, let's look at his old former, egomaniac Steeler teammate, Le'Veon Bell, who just took a 1-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, he's not the number one back. That's still their rookie, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And I would say that he might,
by the way. Yeah.
and he might even move down to number 3 if Damian Williams does come back for the Chiefs next season. But basically, what that move was, Le'Veon, he wants a Super Bowl. He would be willing to take a reduced role to get up. He wants a ring.
You see a lot of veterans do this lately. It's not just football. You see it in baseball. If you remember a guy by the name of Eric Hinsky, if that name rings a bell.
Yes, I do.
How many?
And Jerry Hairston Jr.
Well, and Matt Stairs. I can name them all here. That those guys. Eric Hinsky. How many teams did he play in the playoffs for and go to the championship series for?
Right. Right. I'll give you another name, a more controversial name, Jose Canseco. If you remember in 2000, he was a Yankee.
Yes, he was.
Exactly.
And he got a ring.
Right. It's when your career is winding down in sports, you only want to do one of a few things.
You want to win a title.
I'd say the main thing is you want to win a title. Some still seek the money, some still seek the number one role, but some, they either want to play with a hometown team or a team they've been with for years. But most veterans, it seems like they go to chase the ring. They don't care about everything else.
By the way, and not to interrupt this topic, but by the way, Roger Goodell is getting fine happy because
we have another fine.
So what else is new?
No, this has nothing to do with COVID, but he's getting fine happy with like a bunch of things that went on in last week's game. Travis Kelce was fined $12,500 for dunking the football over the crossbar during the Jets game.
12.5? Are you kidding me?
And Ravens offensive linebacker Matt Judon was fined $35,096 for inadvertently contacting an official's arm.
Well, NFL always goes hard on contacting an official.
But this is what I'm talking about. Why is Roger?
I know the Kelce one baffled me. $12,000.
How many times do we see people dunk the football over the crossbar?
If it was a petty fine like $3,000, $5,000, I mean, whatever. $12,000? Are you kidding me, Goodell?
I mean, for good measure, he should have stuck his tongue out like Jordan.
But anyways, this football world is absolutely maddening.
It's just exhausting, folks.
All right,
yeah.
But nevertheless, Week 9 is on. We got games this week.
Oh wait, we actually have games to pick and not crappy news to talk about anymore? Okay.
Yeah, we actually have games to pick. So let's get right into it. Lions at Vikings. We're going to start off with Matthew Stafford, as we said. Basically will be a game time decision. If he has tested positive if he has tested negative throughout the week, there's a good chance he will play. If there's still a risk, he won't play. The Vikings
this game has giant crapshoot written all over.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is crapshoot because remember the Vikings last week, they actually pulled it off against the Packers. And you know what? Lions are our worst team. I think Vikings will ride some momentum. I'm gonna go Vike.
Me too.
Yeah, I Stafford or not, they're not going to win.
All right. Speaking of crapshoots, Giants and the Washington football team.
I have a note here, and I'm sure you know where I'm going to go here. Golden Tate is not traveling with the team.
Golden Tate is not traveling with the team because of all the behavior issues.
Dude, well, it's actually being reported from Jordan Renan that he had a disagreement
over his role. But here's the thing, by the way.
Now you have a disagreement?
Yeah, by the way, can I be honest with you?
Go ahead.
Pardon my French on here. Who the fuck cares about Golden Tate? It's known that Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton are the two guys. As much crap as we give Gettleman, Slayton was the one good pick that he has made. But I'd say, the issue is not with any of the wide receivers. Guys, I'm going to make it official right here. You can call me not a Giants fan anymore or not. I'd say, no, I am a Giants fan. As I say, no, I'm going to get assaulted that I'm not a Giants fan when I say this. I give up on Danny. I give up.
Oh, I don't blame you for that. I would have given him a while ago.
Okay.
That's not a hot take. That's more room temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some Giants nuts, aren't seeing the reality that this season.
Please, come on.
I'm not saying you or me. I'm saying that there. If
Wait a
you
minute.
I know. I'm just saying in general.
I'll give you
Come
another.
on. You
I'll give.
have eyes to see, do you not? Do you have ears to listen?
Wait a minute.
Therefore, you can see that a team that sucks is a team that sucks.
I'll give you a question that might make more sense.
Okay.
Which New York quarterback would you give up on quicker, Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones?
Danny.
because Sam Darnold, we have seen, as I said, basically they're one and the same in that both of them have been hindered, in my opinion, by a coaching staff. With you guys, with the Jets, obviously, Adam Gase, he has regressed under. For us, I know you had actually quoted me when I was saying that I had given up on Danny and said, now you know what it feels like with a crap quarterback and crap coach. I don't necessarily blame Joe Judge on this one. I blame a hire that we said was a bad hire from the start, Jason Garrett.
Well, Daniel Jones was not Joe Judge's guy. So,
Yeah, but I wouldn't blame Garrett. I don't think this is all Garrett's fault, though.
I don't like the offense under Garrett.
He did exactly the same thing with Dallas, and people wrote him out of Dallas on a rail.
I just think there's no communication from the front office down to the field. I think that's where
that's been an issue since what, 2017, 16, 15?
Pretty much. But let's get back to the games.
Okay, yeah. I'm just saying, honestly, I would rather, for the Giants, no matter, like, I would be happy if at number 2 they took Fields, or if they managed to win this game and they're at 5 or whatever, I would trade up to number 2, get Fields, and I trade Danny to, say, San Fran or another place that needs a quarterback and get more picks.
The one point I'll finish on is, and it's funny, I'm hearing it on New York sports talk radio, is people are making it seem like because the Giants have one win and the Jets are they have no wins, they basically make the Giants look invisible because they have one win.
Well, I was just going to get to the point of the Giants' one win this season came against who? The Washington football team.
They still are playing down to their competition. I'm picking Washington.
I don't think they're playing down to the competition. I just don't think they can win.
I think the Washington team, as much as they have, I mean, let's look at the Washington's wins. So Washington, their first win this season came in the choke job with Philadelphia. There's no question. So then their second win was that was last week against a Dallas team, but you have to remember, 2 weeks ago, pardon me, but you have to remember that Dallas team has been absolutely banged up. Dalton was removed from the game because of concussion, and they have Ben DiNucci, who's already been benched. We'll get to that in a second. This is the one game that I think the Giants could possibly end up taking a win on. So I'll go Giants. Why not? It's the only time I'll pick up the season.
Wait a minute. Am I the split decision?
Yes.
Ugh. As much as I hate New York football this year, what's the Washington football team record now?
They only have 2 wins, 2-5.
Same record.
So this is the NFC least at its finest here.
Right.
Oh, God. I think the Giants are going to wet the bed. I'm taking Washington football team.
All right, we spent too much time on this game. Broncos at Falcons. Well, the Broncos had that big comeback last week against the. So let's see. I'm taking it's either the team who had the big comeback last week against the Chargers, or another team who has been known for choking away leads.
Well,
I'm going to go with Drew Lock and the Broncos.
There's a word in German for this game. It's called Krappenfest, and I'm going to call it. I'm picking the Broncos.
Oh, sorry.
It's a Krappenfest.
Krappenfest.
I'm taking the Broncos. The Falcons have been an absolute shit show all year.
Okay, here's an interesting game: Seahawks and Bills.
This is a good one. This is a good one. Seattle has been playing, like they all have been playing like MVPs. Of course, the Seahawks running back situation still banged up. Still no Chris Carson this week. No Carlos Hyde this week. They're still gonna throw out the rookie DJ Dallas as their main running back. So it's probably gonna have to be another big passing game for Russell Wilson. Will the Bills defense be ready for that? Will Josh Allen? He has regressed over the last couple of weeks. Will he have a bigger game? Will Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, John Brown all step? I mean,
You know what? It's still Russell Wilson.
It's Russell Wilson.
It's still the MVP. DK Metcalf can still catch for 100, 150 plus yards in this game.
He'll give you 200 if you need it.
I'll give you. Yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks.
I mean, and the Bills,
who can also break out as we've seen.
And the Bills have looked surprisingly vulnerable these past couple of weeks.
Again, yeah, you're right.
So I'm picking Seattle.
I got Seattle. I think they're just the better football team.
Ravens and the Colts. Ravens, we also have seen vulnerable as of late, but Old Man Rivers and that weird unit in Indianapolis, plus no T.Y. Hilton, I think, this week.
Yeah, he's out.
I'm going to go Baltimore.
Yeah, this is such a Ravens fest. Like, there's no
Baltimore.
discussion here.
All right. Texans and the Jags. We've seen the Texans look pretty bad as of late. I mean, this whole season, rather. The Jaguars, I mean, outside of James Robinson, what
Didn't
really
they
is
make a signing, by the way?
Oh, yes. I don't know.
A weird backup quarterback signing, I think.
I'd say, I don't know if it's a signing necessarily, but Gardner Minshew is not going to be playing today. He is out with a thumb injury. He has been benched, and Jake Luton will be the starting quarterback.
Well, when you keep putting your thumb through your mustache, injuries tend to happen.
Well, it was either Jake Luton or Mike Glennon.
Oh God. All right, I'm gonna pick the Texans.
By the way,
I'm picking the Texans.
I just confirmed, because I remember putting it up. The Texans signed the veteran journeyman quarterback Josh McCown as a backup.
Oh my God, he's still around?
Yeah, Josh McCown is back, but Deshaun Watson's still the lead quarterback.
But is that weird that you have a 40-year-old journeyman quarterback?
Yes.
I have 2 words for you. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
By the way, the beard, if you thought it was weird enough, the beard was gone and the short shorts while doing his warm-ups.
Well, that was a tribute to Isaiah Ford, who they traded in the trade deadline.
But Daisy Dukes.
That was a little odd. Yeah.
Okay, but we're in agreement. Texans.
Yeah.
Texans. Okay. Panthers at the Chiefs. So the Panthers have actually been a little hot as of late, but I mean, come on, it's Patrick freaking Mahomes.
McCaffrey's back. McCaffrey is back.
McCaffrey is back. However, Teddy Bridgewater, I mean, he's been banged up a little as of late.
Are we surprised? And when he was in New York, he couldn't stay on the field.
He couldn't stay on the field in Minnesota.
I feel bad for Teddy, but Mahomes is going to do stunts on the field. Yeah.
He's going to wipe the Panthers off the ground.
Anybody who has McCaffrey in your fantasy lineups or to return expecting a big output, I apologize. You're
about to have a big day. You can still have a big day.
Good, true. Bears at the Titans. So this is actually prior to the season starting.
This would have been a crap fest.
Yeah, but now this actually looks like a pretty good matchup.
Believe it or not, I think I would actually take the Bears in this game.
I mean, the
Bears are playing good football.
I was going to say, the Bears have been playing good football. I'm not so impressive with Foles, but you know what? But Foles has pulled off a couple of surprises. Plus, I mean, that Bears defense is still solid. You know what? I'll go Bears.
I'm going to go Bears.
Yeah, it's all Bears.
Raiders and the Chargers.
Oh my.
As much as the Chargers have been known for blowing it, and as tough as a matchup the Raiders could be, I see another very big game for Justin Herbert here, who is solidly looking like he could be. I'd say if there was a Rookie of the Year exclusive for quarterbacks, it would be him.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I think the Raiders are fighting 2 monsters, the Chargers and the wrath of COVID-19. So I think the Chargers win.
Once Gruden's puppets become sentient and try to choke him out.
The Dolphins and the Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray is going to be connecting with DeAndre Hopkins, forever and ever. And even though Kenyon Drake is out, Chase Edmonds has shown he can run all over the field as well. This one, I think, is going to be a smackdown. As bad as it is for Tua, who should, get more credit for the fact that he did beat the Rams last week in the first game in an absolute shocker. This is going to be, the comeback down to earth game. Cardinals.
Yeah. This is
Cardinals.
All right. Steelers at the Cowboys.
And
Steelers.
I saw that Gilbert is getting the start for.
It's going to be Gilbert?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Whoever that is at this point, I don't know.
Woo! Speaking of breaking news on this game, perfect timing. Zeke
he's
most
out.
likely out.
Wait a minute. The Cowboys are falling apart. America's football team is falling apart, and everybody is laughing.
So Steelers, baby. The Steelers are going to remain unbeaten.
Yeah.
Imagine that. We're going to go into the double-digit weeks, and Steelers are going to be the undefeated team in this league.
Hey, Vegas, whatever money you had, whatever betting odds you had on the Cowboys, on the Steelers, raise it.
Okay, here we go. We've been talking about this Sunday Night Football. Big divisional matchup, Saints and Bucks.
I still don't think Antonio Brown's going to be the difference.
I don't think
But Michael Thomas is not there, is he?
But Michael Thomas is not.
Thomas is not going to be there. I don't think.
Let me look that up as you guys talk.
Well,
I'm picking the Saints.
This game is going to be close. Drew Brees kind of looks like an old journeyman now at quarterback. Like he's not really getting what he once was. Alvin
Saints
Kamara
expect Michael Thomas to play.
Right. Okay. So Alvin Kamara hasn't looked the same though in practice.
Alvin Kamara has been very good. You want me to be brutal? I think Drew Brees hasn't looked.
That's
good.
what I just said. Yeah.
Okay. Brees hasn't looked good, and honestly, know, as much as Antonio Brown is not another weapon, they still have decent running backs. I think the defense is going to be a little tough for them. Brady still connects with his receivers. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I like the Bucs just because Drew Brees looks old, and Alvin Kamara's had that foot injury, so he's got to be able to hold up.
Okay, Nick, Monday night matchup. Look at this crapshoot. The 2-5 Patriots who have lost.
Joe Flacco has officially been named the starter for Monday night,
and Cam Newton will be the starter still. But remember, Cam Newton has not looked the same since COVID. The Pats have lost 4 straight and 5 of 6. They're 2-5.
Is this the first time that this matchup actually looks almost even?
Yes, I'll be honest. This is the Jets' best chance to win a football game.
They're not going to win, so it doesn't matter.
As our German friends might say, wunderbar! It is Krappen Pest Pot 2!
Yeah, this is going to be so embarrassing. And the worst part is, I usually watch games when I'm at work. I don't know if I'm going to put this on while I'm at work.
Here's what I'm going to do. Okay. I will pick the Pats, but I'm just saying, it would be so Jets-like, so 2020 if their one win this season
is against the
Pats at home.
Oh, God.
All right, Thursday Night Football, by the way, for Week 10, Colts and Titans.
Quickly here. Yeah.
Titans.
Who you got, Nick?
Titans. The Titans are a good team. Old man Rivers.
The Colts are so done. It's not even funny. Phil Rivers should retire.
I was saying not that they're bad, but I mean they're gonna have who we said they're playing this week. The Ravens, and then they're gonna go into a Thursday night against the Titans. I don't like that.
It's over.
Okay, and this show is over. So. Thank you all for tuning in.
Just remember, promo card up again, just so
part
people
2 tomorrow, 12 Eastern, right before kickoff.
We will see you tomorrow, everybody. Good afternoon.
Good night, everybody.